Good evening, Queen City Toastmasters. How's everybody doing tonight? Good, good, good. I'm Cameron Hamrick, your Sergeant at Arms. This is our first meeting of February. So, yeah, welcome. Who here is a first-time guest? 1, 2, 3, possibly more. Okay. Well, thank you for coming. We'll have a introductory period where each of you will get to introduce yourself and tell us how you found us and what you hope to get out of this club. But a couple of logistics, bathrooms, you can go this hallway or this hallway, either one. They're behind us here. Got snacks back here. Hopefully you all signed in and got a name tag. And that's about it. So welcome. And I'm making this short and sweet because I got a feeling you're going to be seeing more of me here shortly. So with that, I will turn it back over to the strong man in the back loading chairs, Gandalf the Gray, Dr. Eric Laxer. Whenever he gets time to get up here. Woohoo! Better late than never, huh?
Thank you, sir. You know, the motto of Toastmasters is a Toastmasters wears many hats, and sometimes you have to set up the chairs and welcome guests and run to the front of the room all at the same time, but it's all good. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to our meeting. I'm delighted that all of you have joined us here tonight. Cameron, did you tell them this microphone's like a fake? So this is for people on Zoom. You won't hear your speech coming from any speakers. We don't have those here right now. So I am delighted to welcome everybody here tonight. For those of you who are new, and I know we have a couple of new guests, just so you know, whenever somebody comes to the front of the room, they're usually going to explain their role to you. And so as president, I usually just help get the meeting started off. But members who come to our meetings all sign up for roles. There's an agenda on your table. And if you want to follow along, that's an easy way to do it. And one of the traditions at every Toastmaster meeting is we give guests an opportunity to just stand up and tell us their name and how they found our group and anything else they want to briefly share. And then at the end of the meeting, we give you a chance to let us know just what you thought of the meeting. So I'm going to go around the room for just a moment or two, starting here. And as I come to you, please just take the mic, stand up, and let us know who you are. And I'm going to start with Wiley.
Hello, my name is Wiley Robinson, and I'm with Dana. And so this is my second visit, and it's great to see you guys. Thanks.
All right. I'm going to come around here and just keep moving around the room.
Hi, my name is Steve Kent. I recently retired and going to jump back into Toastmasters. Over the years, I was in Toastmasters on and off a few times. Actually, a long time ago, an original member, not an original member, but a member of Queen City. So just getting back in it to meet people, make connections, and talk. Okay.
Great. Welcome, Ruben. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Ruben. I'm just checking out the scene and seeing what Toastmasters is like. So here I am.
Hello, my name is Carrie. This is my second time here, and I'm here because I love the art of communication and I want to get better at it, specifically in front of people.
Hi, my name is Grace. This is my first time. Had a mentor at work tell me about Toastmasters, so doing this for some professional development.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I actually learned about this when I was in a public speaking course in college, and it was kind of modeled after Toastmasters, but this is my first ever live one.
Hey, my name's Ivy. This is my first time, and I'm here kind of for some professional development as well. Hey there, good evening. My name is Marissa, and I'm going to steal Grace and Ivy's answer. I'm here for professional development, have heard great things about Toastmasters, so looking forward to learning from y'all. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ebony. I have visited now a few times. I came a few times last year and then about 2 weeks ago. So feels good to be back. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. And I see we've got one person who came in. Yeah, and I'm just gonna count my laps here. I need some extra steps this week, so just keep going.
Hello. Hey everyone. I forgot this thing isn't on. I'm Mariah. I came for my first time last time, had a great time. So I definitely wanted to return. But yeah, I'm here for just professional development as well.
Thank you, everybody. And I believe we have one or two people online. If anybody's a guest online and you want to unmute yourself, and up to you if you want to turn your camera on, then please go ahead. But I see Elvis and Graham there who are our members. And if anybody else would like to, then that's okay. We'll come back at the end of the meeting if you want a chance to introduce yourself. So once again, welcome everybody. We're delighted you're here. For those of you who are intimidated by public speaking, and we know that's a common concern people have, everybody who comes here has one thing in common. We all get better. It doesn't matter where you start. I guarantee you, if you come to our meetings and you sign up for roles or just come as a guest and you stand up once or twice in the evening, you will get better. So with that, I want to mention just one or two other things. We have these little forms on our table. These are brief evaluation forms. And if you want to give some feedback to anybody who comes up here and speaks, you can write a short note, and then you can put their name on the back, fold it up, and you can hand it to me at any point during the meeting or towards the end of the meeting. I think that was the only thing. We did have a new member, but I don't see them here right now. So we'll wait to welcome them if they come late, or we'll do that at another meeting. But the highlight of the evening is usually introducing our member who is Toastmaster for the evening. And I know we have a very exciting meeting with a great theme in store today. Can you please join me in welcoming our Toastmaster for the night, Toastmaster Cameron Hamrick, this gentleman right over here. They're very impressed, Cameron.
Yeah, I know. I'll thank all three of y'all for clapping. Well, I'm back. By show of hands, who all has seen the Rocky films? All right. I'm hoping you did, Rodney, because it's kind of close to your name. Rodney Balboa over here. All right. For those of you who haven't seen it, I might give some spoilers. Are you okay with that? I mean, you've had 40 daggum years to watch them, so I don't really care. But I'm doing this because it's a little bit of a tribute for Carl Weathers. He passed away on Friday. He's the one that played the nemesis Apollo Creed. There can't be a Rocky without an Apollo Creed. So in Rocky 1, the underdog Rocky gets his title shot against Apollo Creed, the heavyweight champion. He barely loses. And then in Rocky 2, he comes back for a rematch and he barely wins. And then some time goes by. Rocky's the heavyweight champion. He's, beating a few, whatever fighters. And then this real bruiser comes along, this challenger named Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T. And he humbles Rocky pretty bad. He knocks him out in 2 rounds. Rocky's trainer then dies in the same night. Apollo Creed and Rocky become friends. Apollo takes Rocky under his wing and he's training him for the rematch. And this clip is from while they're training. Go ahead, Mr. David. Hopefully the sound is somewhat audible. So much for the internet. All right, that's good. So our theme is there is no tomorrow. What does that mean? Anybody? It's not rhetorical. Any takers? Live for today. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? That's a key word you chose there, procrastinate. I like it. So that's kind of what this ties into, is procrastination. So what I did was I wrote down some of my favorite quotes about procrastination. And as the night progresses and I come back up here multiple times, I'll share some more quotes with you. But I'll start it off with the first one. The first one is from Charles Dickens. It says, "My advice is to never do tomorrow what you can do today. Procrastination is the thief of time." What do you think the message to Rocky was? Why do you think he said that to Rocky? Anybody? I mean, for those of you who saw the movie, probably know, but why do we procrastinate? Any takers? What'd you say? We don't want to do it. You say something? I thought I heard it. Fear. That's a good one. Laziness. It's the easy button. Yeah. All those are great reasons. In Rocky's case, it was fear. He just got humbled. He'd been a heavyweight champion this whole time. He just got humbled and knocked out in the second round. And now he's trying to make a comeback, and his heart's really not in it. He don't believe in himself anymore. He don't think he has what it takes. He's scared of getting the crap beat out of him. He's scared of even dying. But more than that, he's scared of losing and what that might do to his reputation, what people might think of him. People might think of him as a loser. And so it's fear why he keeps pushing things off till tomorrow. And that's when Apollo Creed, played by the late Carl Weathers, says there is no tomorrow. So that's our theme for tonight. All right. I've got several members who are going to be helping us run this meeting smoothly. The first of which is going to knock our socks off with an inspirational thought. If you would, please put your hands together and help me welcome Toastmaster Allison.
I'm sure most of us have created a to-do list, but I would like to know, is there anyone that has created a stop doing list? A stop doing list. Oh, we have someone? Yeah, pretty much what it sounds like, right? We are going to stop doing things. But why are we going to stop doing them? What goes on this type of list? It can be bad habits that we want to stop. It can be activities that are not getting us towards our goals. But what they actually can also be are things that we were doing that at one point were actually really beneficial to us, was helping us reach our goals at that time, but are no longer helping us reach the goal that we have at the present time. They're not really helping our present or future self. Give you an example here. Last month, I added something to my stop doing list. I stopped doing my Spanish app, Duolingo. I started this app in 2021, January. It was COVID, was looking for another hobby. It was like a game. It was fun. I had taken a lot of Spanish throughout my college and high school years and thought maybe this is a good time to get conversation like in Spanish. I was very consistent with this. And during the time I was doing it the past couple of years, I also had a Latin American team under me. And so again, I saw this benefit to doing this app pretty much every day. And then December of last year, I kind of was about to do the app and I kind of paused because I realized I wasn't really looking forward to doing this anymore. I realized I wasn't really getting this conversation like that I was hoping. I was getting better at Spanish, but I didn't see this app getting me there. And I no longer had this Latin American team under me anymore. And so I just really decided at this point, I'm going to remove this daily habit from my life that was no longer serving my current life. How do we decide what we are going to add then to this stop doing list? A really good thing to do is to periodically figure out where are you spending your time? What activities are you doing? Once you have that, then look at what are your goals, your vision at that point in time. Then look at what is giving you energy, what is taking your energy. And then you can do a return on investment for all these things that you're spending your time doing. And what's going to hopefully come out of this analysis is you're going to feel strong in the things where you are spending your time because that is who you are and who you are trying to be. And then you're going to very gracefully let go of the things that are no longer serving you at this point. And we all then, I think we all can add a little bit more time back to our day. That would feel good. But what it's also going to do is it's going to make space for you to be able to add something to your life that's going to be the future you or the present you. And you wouldn't have had time maybe for that if you're keeping parts of your past self in your daily life. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Have you read the book Atomic Habits by Jim? Okay. That's where my mind was going the whole time she was talking. And then, I've tried to start my own little list. So my thing that I stopped doing is hit the snooze button in the morning. And the Atomic Habits book, if you haven't read it by James Clear, I highly recommend it. It's making your positive habits seem more sexy and your bad habits seem less attractive. And that's how you break that mold. So thank you for sharing that with us. My next quote that I want to share with you is from a famous hockey player. Maybe you've heard of him, named Wayne Gretzky. He says, procrastination is one of the most common and deadliest of diseases, and its toll on success and happiness is heavy. With that, I will introduce our grammarian for this evening, Miss Momita.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening, dear guests and Toastmasters. Today, my role is of grammarian, and my role would be to observe the filler word that I used just now, which is like and some repeated word like right, yeah, like, those kind of words. And I will also introduce the word of the day, which will try to use it. It's very challenging. Till date, I have not. I wish I'll use this word. Likewise, which means similarly. So example of likewise is sometimes in greetings we used pleased to meet. So in answer to that, we say it likewise. And sometimes we say it can be used as an addition, like in addition to, like he's a painter, likewise sculptor. This is a new thing that I got to know today. So likewise can be used as an addition also. So that's, and at the end of like during the evaluation, I'll be evaluating how many filler words have been used and who has used the word of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Momita. For those of you who've never been to a meeting before, you never know how many times you're using a filler word until somebody comes up here and busts your what and tells you how many. So for me, my favorite one has always been so. So yeah, let me tell you about so this, so that. And it wasn't until somebody come up here and said, you said so about 47 times. that I finally realized you need to stop doing that. So grammarian is I just did it. Grammarian is a very important job. Next is the person who keeps people like me from rambling on too long and keeps us on track. And that will be our timer. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Jackie.
Thank you. As he mentioned, I'm your Toastmaster of the day, meaning I am going to be timing your speeches today. So, is that a filler word? When you guys are giving your speeches and you see me do this, that means congrats, you've hit your mark, you can breathe, you are successful. And if you decide to keep talking, continue with your speech, this means pump the brakes, let's start to wrap it up. And then finally, if you see me doing this, that means you're over time. Let's really wrap it up now. And that's pretty much the gist of it, keeping it simple tonight. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jackie. Now we're going to get into our speeches. We have 2 prepared speeches for tonight. But before we do that, I've got a couple more quotes for you. This one's a funny one to me. This is from Christopher Parker says, procrastination is like a credit card. It's a lot of fun until you get the bill. Mason Cooley says, procrastination makes easy things hard and hard things harder. And then Victor Kiem says, procrastination is opportunity's assassin. I like that one. With that, we're going to get into our first speech. So I think Graham is online. And when you are ready, sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Cameron. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Awesome. I wish I could be giving this in person tonight, but I had a little injury, so I'll be designated to the Toastmasters injury reserve for the next week or 2. However, I get to practice my virtual speaking skills. And they say that only 7% of communication is what you say. The other 93% is how you say it. I think many of us are at Toastmasters to work on that 93%, comprising of vocal variety and cadence, using gestures, how we move about the space we're speaking in, utilizing eye contact with the audience, and using vocal emphasis to underscore important points or words. In addition to the affirmation aspects of communication, Toastmasters also introduces us to the concept of communication styles, and they name out 4, theorizing that we each have a preferred communication style that comes more naturally to us, as well as being aware of other communication styles and cultivating these to more successfully communicate with different audiences and circumstances. So I'll dive into this now. Has anyone here ever thought about different ways of communicating to different audiences or different situations? I really haven't. I think it's more of a subconscious thing. We just naturally adjust our communication basing on the situation. However, this is kind of an interesting way to look at it. Maybe when you're buying a car, a used car lot, you're more direct. And with a good friend, you're just more relaxed, open, and casual. Giving a speech at a corporate job, we communicate differently than giving a toast at a wedding reception. And we've been doing this most of our life underneath our conscious awareness. But this is something we can think about and learn to build the skill to become more versatile, effective, and engaging speakers and communicators. And as mentioned before, Toastmasters introduces us to 4 styles: direct, initiating, supportive, and analytical. And initially finding our natural way of communicating is a helpful place to start exploring this. Toastmasters on my pathways provided a brief quiz to determine my natural communication style. And it turns out I'm more of a direct communicator, which I somewhat agreed with. I especially use this in my work. I'm a project manager. So working with a lot of busy people, it's important to get to the point quickly and not, waste meeting time and meeting space with superfluous details or unnecessary discussions. And I've always just liked to get to the heart of the matter when talking with people. However, learning to balance this with maybe building more rapport and small talk can be helpful too. And let's see here. But yeah, kind of getting out of my corporate mode is helpful in more social situations. And let's see here. Okay. So it's important to think about ways to incorporate other communication styles. And as I mentioned earlier, there are 3 other communication styles. And I thought of some ways to, like, I can personally incorporate some of these in my work and social life. So they mentioned initiating style communicators, and those value interacting with others and sharing stories. It's important to allow time for socializing, at the beginning of meetings if you're in a work environment. And this kind of just helps build some comfort and rapport and just creates a friendly, non-threatening environment, and also giving them space to provide time to express their feelings and opinions. Then the next style is supportive communicators, and Toastmasters define this as these people appreciate a calm and steady approach, and it's important to earn their trust by providing them with plenty of reassurance when seeking their opinions and ideas, and also to think about encouraging them to express their concerns and giving them space to make their own decisions and voice their own opinions. I felt this style was a little similar to the initiating style. However, I think one way to distinguish would be to kind of repeat back to them your understanding of what they said, and this makes them feel heard and can help them feel reassured. And lastly, analytical communicators, obviously like facts and figures. That was my secondary one, which I agreed with. And if you're engaging with someone who comes off more analytical, it's important to present information, thanks David, to them in an organized manner and to just provide some examples or evidence for your points. Can help them have more faith in what you're talking about. And then just providing reasoning behind your opinions or specific examples to support what you're talking about, that can be helpful. Overall, I know this is pretty theoretical, and when we're in social situations, we don't want to be thinking about, oh, well, I need to be more direct with this person and supportive, but it can be just an interesting thing to think about, or just the concept overall of tailoring communication based on specific situations, and thinking about ways you can become a more versatile speaker and communicator, and just trying new things, getting out there, taking an improv class, taking a stand-up class, just hanging out with different types of people can overall kind of help build your toolkit and just make you more experienced. So that's my call to action, is just reflect on that and be mindful. Thank you. Back to you, Cameron.
Thank you, Toastmaster Graham, for sharing that with us. I will say that if you're new here and you don't know what speaking style is, and if that's something that intimidates you, then congratulations, you're normal. So that's what you're here to figure out. And Toastmasters will help you figure out your speaking style and how to maximize that God-given talent that you have. As it turns out, both of our speakers are virtual tonight. Before we introduce our second speaker, I had one more quote here. This one's actually from the Bible. It's Ecclesiastes 11:4 says, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap." Not going to get out what you don't put in. With that, I will turn it over to our lovely Toastmaster Andrea, the chocolate butterfly Williams.
Here created a
Check
little
1, 2, one more time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you.
Okay. Don't know if this is going to share. Can you see? Or do you just see me?
No. Oh, we can see it. Never mind.
I'm seeing it.
Oh,
Yes.
you see it? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is a new program that we're doing called Come Dream with Us. It is centered towards Black history. So I'm going to share this with the club. I just want your feedback. I know we have those feedback sheets on the table. I'm just outside waiting to come in. Technical difficulties. That's what we do at Toastmasters. We make it work. So enjoy. I hope it gives you a little laugh and a little information along the way.
Andrea, we're having a hard time. We can't hear any of this.
Can't hear. Okay. Never mind. I'm coming.
Has a great evening. At the end of the night, they want the ball game and everything. Have a great time. At the end of the night, the horse gets up, takes his staff, and leaves. Now, this whole joke is pressed on the philosopher Descartes' theory of like, therefore I am. Now, I would have led with that, but that would have been pretty.
What?
Woo!
Black history. They didn't see a significance of it. And as you know, in our books, thank you, Hamrick. In our books, they all are diverse characters. So in our books, the teacher is trying to figure out how he's going to integrate Black history where everybody will enjoy it and find value in it. So the first thing he does is he brings in the chocolate butterfly because she has a program and it's called Come Dream with Us. Come Dream with Us is a program that comes into your school, or you can use it at home, and you can create your own Black history stories. The problem with the reason why the children don't enjoy Black history is because we make them learn about certain people. For instance, how many times have you heard Dr. Martin Luther King in the last 30 days? Okay, I am a fan of Dr. Martin Luther King and his dream to see Black people and white people and Hispanic and Asians all sit together, because that's what we're doing right now, right? But who wants to hear that over and over and over again? And then we have this thing in our school system now where they're banning books, or they're taking certain parts of Black history out of the books or out of the history. So we don't know the history anymore, and we don't understand the value. So in the Come Dream With Us program, each child gets the opportunity to pick one person that aligns with their dream. The one person that aligns with my dream is Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, because what she said was so important. If you don't know your past, you're bound to repeat it. We don't want to repeat the past of putting and demarginalizing people based on their color of their skin. We no longer want to demarginalize someone because of where they come from or who they are innately. They cannot change. We don't want to do that. We don't want to repeat that future, right? So that makes the Black history, the Black movement, everyone's movement. And the Black movement, just for reference sake, didn't just help Black people. It far more outreached and helped Caucasian or white female Americans. They benefited from the programs more than anybody, more than men, women, or children. White women benefited the most. But we don't tell the story in that manner. We make it about Black people. But if we're going to make it about Black people, okay, let's just do that. Okay, so Black people created an iron board. Black people created, like, I think he did 31 versions of how to use a peanut, even though I'm allergic. I won't touch it, but he did it, Dr. Carver. There is a Black person who did the first heart surgery, the first heart transplant. How many of us have family members who have heart problems? Wouldn't that be scary if that Black person didn't do that? Even the American flag has been attributed to a Black person. So how do we take Black history out of American history and call it banned? So that's what the Come Dream With Us program is. So each child gets an opportunity to choose someone. But when we express this to the kids, they're still not happy because they think you're going to give them the same thing they got last year, right? So when the teacher brings it up, he's like, we're going to do this exciting program. And the first kid, I don't know if you're familiar with my students, so I'm going to give you a synopsis of who they are. The first student, he's an African-American caterpillar, and his name is Blue. And Blue says, I'm 365 days Black every day. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, 24/7, I'll still be Black. I don't need to explore my history to understand the significance of being Black. I can look at the man in the mirror. The next student, Yusuf. Yusuf is Armenian. He's like, hey, I'm not even Black. Why am I getting taught about Black history? Shouldn't Black people learn about their own history? Interesting. The next student, Lorian. Lorian is Hispanic, and he is Hispanic and Black. He's a mix of mixed culture, and he says, Black history. Oh, good. They give us 28 days. Oh, I'm sorry. This year, we got 29 days to celebrate being Black. But I'm Black, like Blue said, 365 days of the year. Then we have the students, the female student, Daisy. And Daisy, she's like, chocolate butterfly. I get what you're saying. You had a dream. You were once Lily, the caterpillar, and you became chocolate butterfly. So you lived your dream. But what does that have to do with Black history? And then the last student, you always had that good student. I was that good student. You always had that good student. And Angel says, I'm sorry, chocolate butterfly. I'm sorry they didn't get it. But I do. I want to learn about my history because I'm proud to be Black. And so the teacher says, okay, everybody cut it out. Cut it out now. Because this month, we're going to honor the people that came before us. We're going to honor the icons and the trailblazers that stood in the gap to make sure that Black history is our history. And today, we celebrate Black history. Thank you.
Thank you, Chocolate Butterfly. I choose Denzel Washington because he's my favorite actor and one of my role models. The next quote I want to give you on procrastination comes from Theodore Roosevelt. It says, in a moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. With that, we're going to jump into my favorite time of the meeting, the table topics. This is going to help with impromptu speaking, but I'm not going to steal the man's thunder. He is a gem of a Toastmaster, honorary member, of our Valentine Club, right? And he is not paying attention to me at all. So please welcome Toastmaster Alan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My apologies for not paying attention. I was just reading a text that David sent me about why Colin isn't here, and I won't get into that, but suffice it to say, Colin is not just being flaky. So the purpose of Toast Table Topics is to improve your impromptu speaking skills. These are 1 to 2 minute speeches where you just speak whatever's on your mind. I have a couple questions, and just a friendly reminder, you are welcome to answer a different question if you don't like the one that's presented, or you can just talk about whatever you like. Now, Colin's questions that I just read 5 seconds ago are pretty much in line with what I've come up with. They're a little bit deviated, but that's okay. We will roll with it. So do we have any volunteers? Yes, come on up. Ruben, nice to see you. All right, let's see. So what have you been putting off that you hope to stop putting off?
Well, tomorrow I'm going to court for battery. Nah, I just rear-ended someone. So, yeah, on the highway. So, but I didn't get a lawyer for this because I didn't think it was a big deal, but I was talking with some friends about, like, I probably should have. So I was researching yesterday and I almost didn't come tonight because this would be more time for researching on how exactly you behave in a courtroom and stuff. But I'm here, and so in a sense, by being here, I'm procrastinating on going to court tomorrow. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, who wants to go next? Yes, come on up. Harry, nice to meet you. All right, so is there anything you hope to give up this year?
Ooh. Going off of the topic of procrastination tonight, I hope to give up procrastinating learning French. My husband is French. He grew up in Dijon, and we really want him to speak French to our kids someday. So he really wants me to learn French. Also, when I go over there with him once a year, it's always a very uncomfortable experience to be the only one in the room who doesn't speak the language, of course. So for the past couple years, I have been wanting to learn and learning bit by bit, a little bit every time that I go over there and meet new people and just try on new phrases and, just learn small talk. But it is time to kick it into high gear and just find a way to learn more progressively. So I'm giving up not learning French. not learning French, yes. You know exactly right.
Thank you, appreciate it. All right, Mamita, I saw your hand up, come on up. All right, so it's my understanding that you just won our Club's Table Topics contest. Oh, congratulations. All right, so I asked this same question last week for my other club's contest. So what is one thing the Charlotte area has too much of or not enough of?
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Good evening, Toastmaster and dear guests. Charlotte has enough of, and should the question is what Charlotte has enough of? Not enough of, and or too much. Okay. I'm actually new to Charlotte. I came to Charlotte in July, I'm still exploring. Maybe because I don't drive, so I think if Charlotte would have the public commutation, like the train commutation, like New York, it would have been very helpful. For me, that is what is rest. I'm enjoying my stay over here. The commutation part only because I don't drive, so that is what I think of. Is like bus. For some reason, the bus is not that. For some reason, I don't feel comfortable taking bus. So the only options are train or take a cab. Cab is a bit expensive. So if train situation would have been there in Charlotte, it would have been more helpful. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, who wants to go next? Yes, come on up. And your name again? Mariah, nice to meet you. So yes, thank you. Are you on track this year so far with any of your New Year's resolutions, if you have it?
It's a great question that I need to take a second to reflect on. So we're in February, right? How many of you have a New Year's resolution to work out? No one? Just me? Oh, okay. It's usually the go-to. Yes, I definitely think I'm on track. I think going into the New Year's, my biggest resolution is consistency within my week, having a routine. I've found that like most successful people, at least the people I deem successful, have routines. So I'm really big on getting into a routine weekly. So going to the gym 4 times a week, not spending money eating out. Please clap for me because I'm really doing good on that. Thank you. But yes, to answer your question, I definitely think that I'm on track. I just hope that I continue to stay disciplined and stay on track. I don't think I have any other big resolutions. Financially, one more credit card to pay off. I'm almost there. And I think that's it financially, physically. And I think the physical seeps into just mentally. So all around and just even spending my time being more productive. So being here every week, I'm trying to stay on track with that. So if you guys don't see me and then you see me another one, get on me about that because I should be here every Tuesday evening.
Thank you. So, all right, let's see. I have one more question. Who would like to take it? Yes, come on up. You doing? Oh,
Good to see you
great.
again.
You too.
Yeah, it's been a while.
All right. So your question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a procrastinator are you?
Oh man, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a procrastinator am I? 1 being the lowest, like I'm not a procrastinator. 10, I'm the best procrastinator. I'd say that I'm a 10. If I can find a way to not do something, I'm going to not do it. One of the things I signed up for Toastmasters, and I got in the habit of coming here weekly, and I felt really good about that. And I told myself, like, even on the nights where I don't feel like coming, I'm still going to make myself do it and continue on and build on that momentum. And then the holidays rolled around and it turned into, it's the holidays. Like, I'm going home. I'll get them on the next one. And then the next one rolled around. I was like, not this one. I'll go to the next one. And then the next one. And then the next one. So that pretty quickly snowballed into just not coming back to Toastmasters for a while. And so if I had to tie it into one of the other topics too about the New Year's resolution, was to start cultivating this habit of coming here regularly and breaking the habit of being a 10 on the procrastinator scale. So thank you.
Very much. Appreciate it. All right. Well, that concludes tonight's table topics. So thank you very much. And I'll hand the meeting back over to Cameron.
Thank you, Toastmaster Allen. My first quote that I read tonight was, "Why do tomorrow what you can do today?" Sounds like Greg's motto is, "Why do tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow?" So, I got two more quotes I'll do, and then we'll bring up our general evaluator. The first one's from Horace, the ancient Roman poet, who says this: "He who has begun is half done. Dare to be wise, begin." And the second one comes from Dawson Trotman, an evangelist, who says, "The greatest amount of wasted time is the time not getting started." With that, we'll jump into our evaluation period of the meeting. And with that, we will introduce our general evaluator, David Jones.
How can we use the word likewise? Any thoughts? Oh, there we go. Got the word of the day in. My name is David Jones, and I will be the general evaluator tonight. I just want to touch upon what the general evaluator role is, because we've kind of got off track, some of our general evaluators over the past few months. And the best part of Toastmasters is you can give a speech and then you get feedback from one of your peers. And that is their feedback, the speaker. The general evaluator's role is two-part, is to give feedback to the evaluator and then the meeting as a whole. On occasion, our general evaluators talk about pretty much everything, but that's really not the role. So try to stay on track whenever you're a general evaluator. Just evaluate the evaluators and the meeting as a whole. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first evaluator, which is Dana, and she is evaluating Graham's speech. Yes.
Thank you, David. Graham, really great job. I'm sort of not sure where to look because he's over there, I think, or right there. Oh, he's right there. Okay. Graham, really great job. I enjoyed your speech, and I thought it was great that you started out by explaining why you were remote. I mean, I was wondering a little bit because usually if someone's giving a speech, they would come in. So I thought that was a great job explaining to everyone why you started off remote, and also just being flexible and actually doing the speech even when something came up. It's important to grow in that way and to be able to pivot. So one of the first things that I noticed about your speech is that you said 93% of a speech is how you present it, rather than maybe what you're actually saying. I'm a lawyer. I can tell you, I've seen that with my own eyes. And the other lawyers in the room know that the person is full of it, but you can get away with a lot by presenting in a certain way. So that is absolutely true. And thankfully you did not do that. I felt that you were very well prepared, and I was impressed with everything that you said. I liked how you tied the direct speech model to your own style and why that works for you as a project manager. That made tons of sense. I liked also that you pointed out that you sort of yourself were unclear about the difference between a supporting style and an initiating style. When you're talking about a new topic, there's nothing wrong with telling the audience you're new to this topic and maybe there's something about it that you don't understand either. I thought that was a really great point. Overall, loved your encouragement to everyone to use different styles. I think we all do gravitate towards one style or another. I feel like maybe this is the mom in me, but I gravitate towards supportive styles and, how does the audience feel about things? I like getting feedback. I tend to not give super direct speeches. So I thought that was a really good point, that we're all just sort of gravitating towards one style or another naturally. If I could give you any critique, I would say sometimes you lost your place. That's totally okay. You don't have to tell us. It would be all right if you just paused, found your place, and then went back to it. You don't have to tell us like, "Ooh, hold on a second, I'm going to find my place." It's okay. If you just pause, we'd probably not know and think it was for effect. So that was my only critique. Overall, wonderful job. We all really enjoyed your speech. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very excellent, thoughtful feedback.
Thank you, Dana. Appreciate it. And next up, another one of our members, and is also a member of Valentine, and he's going to have a little challenge. Luckily, he's an experienced Toastmaster to evaluate Andrea Chocolate Butterfly, because it was two parts. Let's see what he does. So, Shannon, let's see what you got.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Andrea, wow. I don't think I'm overstating it when I say you have such a powerful presence up here that when you're in the front of the room, you are the room, you own the room. All eyes are on you, all attention is focused on you. But let me get to your speech. You have such a strong voice when it carries, you don't have to strain to hear it. You have a very good diction, so it carries to the back of the room. Some things I would work on. Very much like you, I've had technical difficulties this past week. My wife and I went this Saturday to get a dog at the SPCA up here in Charlotte. We found two that kind of met our criteria, but they were both young and fairly needy, in need of training, housebreaking, and likewise to you, I needed something different. I needed something more manageable. So we found the low-keyest, easily manageable dog we could possibly get. We wound up getting a cat. And if you know me, you know that cats are like other people's children. I like them well enough. I just can't eat a whole one anymore, and I hate to see them go to waste. No, I've had severe allergies most of my life growing up. That's why my wife, who grew up with cats, we haven't had one in our nearly 30 years of marriage, but this one didn't kill me, so we ran with it. To segue into that, always make sure your tech is working prior to coming in. You were out in the parking lot. I presume you were running late, so you didn't come in. So we were trying to do some downloading in the parking lot. That's fine. I understand. I was trying to get a dog. But it happens. And in that situation, you made the best of it. You tried it. It didn't work. You came in. You presented your ideas and your speech here in person, live in front of a studio audience, which was fantastic. It was a great message. You had a great speech with a powerful message of Black History Month not being just the same old corny cliches of Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks or anything else that you hear constantly for 28 days, every 29 days this year, for every year, every February. You get some great examples from your students' reactions. That really personalized it and brought it home, and really for me made me understand that Black History Month isn't just Black History Month. It's something we should understand. It's our History Month, Black, white, Hispanic, whatever. We are all a country, and it's our history that we're celebrating. We just happen to be celebrating African Americans this month, but it's our history. And that was such a powerful message. And as always, I look forward to hearing you speak, and I look forward to hearing you speak again next time. I'm going to turn it back over to our general evaluator, Mr. David.
Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate it. Thank you, Shannon. And Jackie, if you're ready, we're going to get a timer's report from Jackie.
Graham, I enjoyed your speech. I also think I speak directly. So that was very interesting to hear from you. You were at 6 minutes, 33 seconds today. Andrea, you were at 5 minutes, 52 seconds. Ruben, you were at 53 seconds. Ari, you were at 1 minute. Momita, you were at 1 minute, 21 seconds. Mariah, you were at 1 minute, 24 seconds. Dana, you were at 2 minutes, 32 seconds. And Shannon, the only red of the night, but I think you made up for it with that joke earlier. So you were at 3 minutes and 53 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jackie. And when you're general evaluator, you get to pick the order. Usually I would do my evaluation and then call the grammarian so she can catch all of my filler words, but I'm going to call her before she can catch my filler words. So I'm going to introduce Momita, our grammarian. Okay.
I didn't find anyone using the filler word except me. And the word of the day was used by Shannon and David, I guess. So thank you for using the word. I didn't use the word. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Momita. Now, as my general evaluator role, I'm going to evaluate our evaluators, and both of them did what we call the sandwich approach. So when you do a positive, you talk about what the speaker did well. And then in the middle is the meat, which is the feedback, the room for improvement. And then you end it with a positive. So we're not really putting them down. We're just saying, hey, that was a great speech. I really liked it. For Dana, she did a great job. The only thing I noticed, and maybe because of the distance and Graham being online, was he was reading a lot. And he's newer, but I would have pointed out to him he maybe shouldn't be reading, because if he was in person, he's not going to have the whole script in front of him. That was the only thing that caught my eye that you might wanted to point out. And as far as the meeting as a whole, as always, we start on time here at Queen City, and we introduce the guests. We like to have them speak. We're going to have plenty of time to have follow-up, I believe. And it was a great meeting, had a few last-minute things, such as Shannon was the evaluator last minute. We had Alan as our table topics master, because we had a few people miss out. And that's the great thing about Toastmasters. You just get comfortable and you can pretty much do any role, step into just about anything. And with that, that is my general evaluator role. And I'm going to turn it over to our Toastmaster. Wherever he is. I'm looking at Eric for a minute.
He'll get his shot. Thank you, Toastmaster David, for that wonderful evaluation. Thank you for our evaluators. I'll leave it with the last, well, I've got a couple other last quotes here. So Mark Twain is one of my favorite people that follow his quotes. Is this one says, "The secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret of getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming task into small, manageable tasks and then starting on the first one." If you heard me speak last week when I opened up the meeting, I talked about the Super Bowl coming up and how that was the ultimate trophy that the teams were going after, and asked the question, what is your trophy in Toastmasters? And the good news is there's many of little small bite-sized trophies that you can win. If you're a guest here tonight, it's getting up and doing table topics, which we saw, which I love seeing our guests get up and do table topics. That's your first thing that you're doing, getting outside of your comfort zone. Next, it might be joining Toastmasters. After you join Toastmasters and get set on pathways, it might be giving your icebreaker speech and then moving on to completing a pathways and then doing a speech competition and then being the global speaker of the year one day, doing a TED talk on national TV. But it all starts here, and you build your way up in those small bite-sized trophies. But you have to get started. I also mentioned last week Luke Williford, who he's one of the guys I follow. He owns a bunch of laundromats in North Carolina. He says the biggest gap in the world is the difference between knowing and doing. You have to take action. So that's my challenge to everybody here is stop procrastinating. Stop doing tomorrow what you could do today. Life is too short. And remember, Apollo Creed says, there is no tomorrow. With that, I'm done talking for the night, and I will turn it over to our presiding officer, Dr. Eric Laxford.
Can we have a huge round of applause for that incredible multimedia extravaganza by this Toastmaster right here? David mentioned it, but I want to just point out to our guests, part of the thing you learn at Toastmasters is to prepare for the unexpected. So we had a couple of situations today. Alan stepped in to do table topics because Colin couldn't be here. He really only found out about that, I think, through a text message during this meeting. And also when Shannon arrived, we were missing an evaluator. And so he agreed to step in and be the evaluator. And this is not unlike situations we may run in at work. So your boss or supervisor may come up to you and say, hey, you know, we need somebody to step in and give a report. So-and-so is sick. Can you do it? And that's not an easy thing to do, but if you come here and prepare with us every week, those are things that get better and get noticed at your place of work. I have a couple of things that I'm very happy to take care of today. The first is it's always a pleasure for us to welcome a new member. And we do have a new member here today. Her name is Janelle. So Janelle, can you come up and join me for just 1 second? You are the newest member of our group. Can say hello and just let us know what made you decide to join Toastmasters.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I have procrastinated for years as far as joining Toastmasters. There's some communications that I like to work on. And so I was talking to a really good friend of mine earlier in the year, in the beginning of January, and she told me that she attended a Toastmasters meeting in Philly with her sister. And so that was, to me, another knock on the door for me to get up and find a club. And so I just did a quick search and found this one, attended a few weeks ago, procrastinated still, but went ahead and just joined. And here I am. And I hope that I have the courage next time to get up and speak.
Well, you just did. You just got up and spoke. And guys, that's what it's all about, getting up here and speaking. Well done. I want to make a couple of announcements. Our sister club, South Park Toastmaster, who meets Monday at noon next week, has Allison Crump, one of their Zoom members, is going to be talking about pathways. So if you want to learn about pathways, you can either attend that meeting in person or on Zoom. If you need more information, please let me know. The second is we are celebrating our 70th anniversary this year. Yes. And our event, which several members are planning, is Tuesday night, April 16th. Yes, and if you're available and a guest here tonight and you want to join us, maybe by then you'll be a member, but please, you're welcome to do so. A tradition at the end of our meeting is to give our guests a chance to share how they felt about the meeting, and I want you to all see how it's done. And Rockney, if you wouldn't mind, maybe coming up and just letting us know you are a new member. Every time I talk to you, you were one of our guests, but now you're a new member. Can I call you up front and just share with our guests so when I come around, they'll see what giving feedback at the end of the meeting is like, and just tell us what you thought about the meeting tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Rockney. I'm officially joined last week when I paid my dues. So thank you. I've been coming consecutively for about a good 3-4 months. So I was a little hesitant. Well, not so much hesitant as far as joining, but I just wanted to be consistent and make sure I came to the meetings every Tuesday, because with my job, I have to work over in construction. So, but on my project that I'm in charge of, I typically get off a little earlier, throughout the week. So push come to shove, if I can get here at 6:30, I'll be here or before. I don't like to come late to meetings. So, but overall, it was a very good meeting. I can see that everybody, even with our, new guests that came today, they had a lot of courage to come up and speak for the first time. So that's a good sign. So hopefully they start joining. So I just feel the meeting was just very productive. So.
Thank you, Rocky. I'm going to walk around the room and give our guests a chance to just share a similar thought or anything else you want to let us know about. And I'll start over here. I think it's Ebony. Yeah.
Yes. Again, my name is Ebony. I thought it was a great meeting. I picked up a lot of inspirational nuggets. I love that you opened it up with Rocky. I'm a Rocky fan, so that gave me some inspiration. Not enough to get up today, but hopefully the next time. And then I started my what am I stop doing list. Like I started things that I am going to be releasing in 2024. So thank you for that. So thanks again.
You did a great job, and you did get up, and the only difference between being here and there is geography. So great job.
Hi, thanks, Marissa. Again, I thank you so much for having us as a guest. I love the amount of feedback that is given throughout. I feel like I've learned from every single person who spoke, even as an evaluator, and then feel very welcomed as a guest. So thank you for having me here, and fantastic job on the quotes throughout. I love that. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ivy. I thought this was a great meeting. I like how supportive everyone is for everyone's speeches. And I also like how structured the meeting is. So everything's timed and everything's on time and flows really smoothly. So thank you for having me.
Hello, Lexi again. Piggybacking off of what Ivy said, I think there's a great structure to these meetings. I think it makes sense. It's timely, it flows, and everyone has their place.
Hi, Grace again. Thanks for having me. I really didn't know what to expect or what I was walking into when I came here. So it's really nice to see it's a very inclusive group and all the different roles that you guys offer. So hopefully next time I'll feel more comfortable to come up and talk more.
Fine. I just want to say, I think it was, I mean, this is my second time here, and both times I just can't stop thinking about how public speaking is like the most feared thing in the world. I'm pretty sure it's above death for most people. And here we have a room full of people who are voluntarily coming in on a Tuesday night to get comfortable doing this big, scary thing. And so I just want to say that I think that's awesome. And I'm very inspired by everyone in here. And I thought tonight was really great and it flowed. And I like to see, last time I was here, there was the contest, so it was a little bit different. So it's nice to see like all the roles and how thorough that is. So great job. Thank you guys for having me.
I'm Ruben. I really liked today's session. I thought it was just a great time, and I enjoyed the speeches, especially the like, what are you leaving out sort of thing. I enjoy those kinds of things. So thanks for having me.
And again, I had been to many before, but so it's not my first time at Toastmasters, but first time back. And this was a great meeting to come back to. It's a great room of folks, interesting topics, well run. And your dramatic pause was awesome. Everyone, what did he do? That was awesome. It was a great meeting.
Hey, so again, I'm Mariah. This is my second time here. I definitely felt more comfortable. Again, like I said last week, I love this space and how inclusive it feels. Today was hilarious. Shout out to Shannon and Ruben for the great jokes. Yeah, but I really enjoyed it and I look forward to next week.
Thank you. We might have a guest online. So if there is a guest online and you're interested in sharing any feedback with us, you could just unmute yourself. But until then, Elvis is sitting up there and Elvis is not at the meeting today. I'll let him tell everybody here why. So Elvis, if you want to just say hi to the group and give us your best wishes from wherever you are, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Eric, and good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure to join the meeting today, even from afar. So like you said, I'm not there, and usually I try to make myself available to join the meeting. So congratulations to everyone who has volunteered to participate and they prepare speeches for every one of the roles. And I would like to continue encouraging all of the members to go to the agendas every week and sign up for roles so that we have a prepared meeting as the one that we had today. So kudos to all of you for participating and congratulations for a great run meeting. And back to you, Dr. Laxer.
He didn't tell us where he is. Maybe he doesn't want us to know. That's okay. Maybe next time. Does anybody have any announcements that they wanted to share with the club tonight? If not, I think I've already mentioned a couple of things. I want to end on this note, especially for our guests. I'm going to steal this from another expression that I heard before, and that is that the best time in your life to join Toastmasters was probably about 10 years ago. But the second best time in your life to join Toastmasters is right now. So if you want to join our club, please let us know. If not, you're welcome to come back as many times as you like as a guest. And with that, I will call tonight's outstanding meeting to a close. Thank you, everybody.